Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 5 of Let's Talk. This episode is kind of sort of special. For starters, I helped a friend make a video. And this video, it took us, we were honestly working on this for a couple of months, but obviously off and on. Like, if we managed to condense all the time we spent on it, maybe we spent total a month, but it was spread out over a couple of months, and it's a great video. Links in the description below, and it's about her riding her skateboard at 64 years old in her swimming pool. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, is the uniqueness of riding a skateboard in a swimming pool. In her scenario, how it's different than I expected. But first of all, I want to mention, so in the video, which is called Granny's Passion, Maximum Speed, but in that video, she talks about the Z-Boys, which is short for Zephyr Team. And I kind of looked them up because there's a documentary she was referencing. I looked it up to see exactly what that was about and find out more. And all I really watched was the preview for that documentary, which I really want to watch now. I mean, I don't ride skateboards and stuff, they're kind of cool. But in that documentary preview, there was one part where one of the guys said, because the Zephyr Team, they started surfing. And then they slowly transitioned into riding skateboards in empty swimming pools and doing competition skateboarding, which it was so new back in the day that you had to make your board. I'll let Granny explain more of that, but the thing from the preview so one of the guys was saying that this other guy, I forget his name, but he rode the skateboard in the swimming pool, and he rode up the side of the swimming pool, came back down in, and made it. So he basically, it was the first time anybody had ever done that. And after seeing that, I realized, wait a minute. Those swimming pools transitioned to what we have now in skate parks called the bowls. You know, those different bowls that people ride up and down and do tricks in? And that's really, really cool. Now, for the rest of this, I did say I don't ride skateboards. But I do also kind of sort of need to, say I've watched a few videos on skateboards, so this is kind of where I'm coming from. The main channel that I watch is Braille Skateboarding. You guys should check that out. And I'm going to be sending this Braille's way, so if you guys happen to watch this video, so cool. The reason that I like them is because they're not just riding skateboards and showing off their cool tricks. They're skating random things, like they turn a saw blade into a skateboard, or like a chainsaw and an axe. People send them different things on a show, you make it, we skate it. And I like the creativity of it. It's fun to see, and I usually I just watch the video and then, okay, that thing actually works as a skateboard. Move on to the next one. But watching that and seeing them actually skate some normal skateboards here and there, this is where I'm coming from. It seems like riding a skateboard, you push off and you go straight. Unless you tilt left and right is how you steer, I know that much. So it seems to me like you would be actually you go pretty straight, unless the ground is a little bit uneven or anything, then you kind of sort of want to lean and tilt, but for the most part you just go straight. There's not much deviation. Now, Granny riding her skateboard in the swimming pool, she's not doing a whole lot of tricks and stuff. She is 64 after all. But she doesn't really go straight. So key differences with Granny, as you'll watch, she's laying down on the skateboard, whereas other people aren't. And I'll give her that her bottom of her skateboard isn't completely flat. And all she's doing is trying to go from one end to the other while getting maximum speed. And I'm gonna be honest here, it's not super extremely fast, but I can see why it would be somewhat fast and somewhat exhilarating. And I don't think it's in, excuse me, little burp there. I don't think it's in the first video, but I think it's somewhere in the extra videos about Granny riding her skateboard and having fun with Logan and the gang. It's somewhere on that channel. She mentions that as you're skating on the skateboard, you kind of have to watch out for the drains and the bottom of the pool, because if you hit one, you'll go flying. which after actually seeing her ride the skateboard and stuff in there, I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I exaggerate all the time about some things, you know, on purpose. But I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration. Maybe you would, like, fall off the skateboard, slide off the side or something, but you're not going to, like, just fall off and... What am I thinking of? Ooh. Look at the red leaves in this tree. Beautiful. Anyways, I don't think you're actually going to go flying off. But so, from what I know about watching skateboards, you know, and... I think maybe I tried one of my friend's ones once for something, but what am I thinking about? Yeah, it seems like you would go a lot straighter than she does, but most of the takes, she's missing her mark, but she does get it. She does able to go straight down to the bottom, you know, not 100% perfect straight, but straight, nonetheless, and so it's like, why? But, I mean, I did say they're not completely even, and she's laying flat on the board, which I think might make a difference, too, you know. I think it's a little bit easier, like, you see me right now, I'm going to show you, see if that's a good, you can see I can lean back and forth, and I can easily reposition myself, so, like, if for whatever reason I happen to be just a little bit, standing a little bit more to the right of the skateboard, instead of center, then the board might end up tilting a little more to the right if I'm not completely center. But if for whatever reason I needed to stay on the board, I could counter for that by leaning a little more to the left, if you get what I'm saying. But if you're laying down, you can't do that. You can roll side to side, but that's not going to shift the majority of your body weight. If you are in fact laying on the skateboard a little more to the right, you are going to tilt a little more to the right. So that makes it a little bit trickier. And obviously it's harder to steer because you've got less weight tilting you in one direction. Like this way you can have 90% of your weight tilting you and steering the skateboard, whereas when you're laying down and you roll side to side, you're still going to tilt the skateboard, but not as much. And so you'll get 90% of your weight standing up, maybe 50 or less % of your weight if you're leaning while you're rolling side to side while you're laying down on the skateboard. So I thought that was kind of sort of interesting, you know, interesting to see how that all goes down and how it's not as easy as I expected. And this whole video that I was doing with her, it took some interesting turns. I mean, there's an original video from a couple of years ago of her doing this, not as good, you know, and that one is called Granny on the Move in Empty Swimming Pool, and that's what we're going to call this one. But then it kind of sort of morphed into a video about psychology, and so I have a bunch of pictures that I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually do anything with. I'm gonna go ahead and ask Granny if she wants me to lump them into a video and say something like, hey, this video was gonna be a little bit about neuropsychology, because I think that's what she majored in college or something. But with that, you know, it kind of was going that way, and we were going to change the name, and then it took another turn and finally settled on where it is now, where it's about her riding her skateboard, having fun, and about the Z-Boys being her inspiration, along with Eye of the Tiger. Good song, and it's in there. It's her inspiration. So I thought that was just kind of cool, interesting, and, you know, it's something that I enjoyed helping her make. And see if I have any other thoughts on skateboarding while I'm here on this skateboarding topic. Not a lot that I can think of. I mean, skateboarding is cool, and there are a lot of cool tricks that you can do and stuff. I don't ever plan to actually get into skateboarding. I'm a little more of the cautious person. My mode of transportation, as far as the stuff like that, is like a bicycle, you know. I used to ride scooter. Just the scooter with the with the handlebar and just the two wheels. I used to ride that quite a bit. I had one. That was fun. But for some reason, I don't know why, and maybe I'm just older and it's different, but last time I rode my scooter was a couple of years ago, and of course I have the handle extended out all the way because I'm a lot taller, and which is a little bit too short, sorry. It's a little bit too short for me, so I have to bend down, and on top of that, going across the sidewalk on these bumps, I'm like, the scooter would be a little bit faster to get me where I'm going. So I think my bike needed repairs or something, and I'm going along the bumps like, Oh, how did I do this as a kid? This is too painful. So I got off, I quickly walked my scooter home, and fast walked to wherever I was going. Which I forget where it was, but I think I got to where I was going decent time. Probably like the grocery store or something, and So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll try a scooter again. If I'm riding on a smooth surface, aside from the fact that I have to kind of bend down, it would probably be okay. But look at these yellow leaves. Yeah. Riding the scooter now is kind of uncomfortable, and I don't know, I just can't really do that anymore. But so, you know, skateboarding and scootering, and there's a lot of cool tricks that you can do. That's not my area. I like to play a little more safe. Like every time I see someone on Braille skateboarding fall off their skateboard, it doesn't seem like they're not wearing knee pads and stuff, which I would like totally wear. I mean, a little bit on that in a minute, but you know, they're not. But it doesn't seem like they ever get like super bruised when they fall off. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to, you know, like they fall backwards into the bowl when they're at the top of it. I would be scared that I would hurt myself, like break a leg or something. And so I'm just a more cautious person when it comes to things like that. But part of that's also because I'm small. And small means a little bit more weak, you know? Like you got a small kid with a bunch of other more rowdy and rambunctious little kids in the nursery running around, and you're a little bit more scared. You're afraid because you're small and they can do more. You know, they're just bigger and can beat up on you easier, kind of a thing. So part of it's coming from that, which I'm not that way anymore, but still it does kind of spawn from that, so I'm a little more cautious. But there are a lot of cool things that you can do on skateboards, and it's really cool to see someone being creative and innovative in that sort of way. I like it when people do that. That's one thing I like on YouTube a lot. Like, if you could find something I'm not necessarily already interested in, but someone's doing it in a creative way, I might actually be interested in that. Like, if you showed me a video where someone was cooking, I like cooking, yes, but I don't necessarily like to watch other people cook. Wow, this has gone off topic from skateboards and gonna have a long title. Okay, well, we'll continue on with this for a little bit and then wrap up. Short episode. But yeah, I just like creativity. So I like cooking, but if you found a video of someone cooking a pizza that was like regular cheese and pepperoni and stuff, but then it had Fruit Loops on it, I might watch that because it's unique and creative. But if it was just a regular cooking video, I'm less likely to watch it. So you could find maybe almost anything. Ooh. Have a look at this seed pod. Beautiful seed pod. So you could find almost anything, and if it was done creatively, different than normal, I would watch it. Like, you know, like saw blade skateboard is not normal. So kind of a shout out to Braille. Ooh, this is beautiful too. Get out of the way, make it lighter. I watch them every once in a while, you know, just to see what things are skatable. That's kind of cool. And yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Let's Talk. We'll see you guys in the next video.